Do you ever feel stuck, like there's this massive gap between where you are and where you want to be? Here's the truth. The gap is not about your circumstances, resources, or even your skills. It's about your mind. As the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you can master your mind, you can master success, and yes, even your millions. I'm Dee Giles, a wealth and transformation coach, where I help women coaches, consultants, and course creators grow their online business to 7 figures and beyond. In this video, I'm going to show you how to unlock the power of your mind to create the life and business you desire. I'll share how personal growth leads to business growth, why thinking is the hardest thing you'll ever do, and how your creativity can become the foundation of your income. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and dive in. Everything, and I mean everything in your life, flows from your thoughts, your business results, your relationships, even your faith walk. It all starts in your mind. Proverbs says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. In Hebrew culture, the heart and mind are interconnected. What you believe about yourself, your potential, and your worth shapes what you do and what you don't do. Let me share a quick story. Think of Thomas Edison, the light bulb guy. He failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. What kept him going? His thoughts. He believed he was capable, so he persisted until his mind turned an idea into reality. Imagine if he let doubt control him. Our world would look very different today. We'd literally be probably sitting in the dark, probably still with candles. When I first started speaking about wealth building and entrepreneurship, I felt inadequate. I questioned if people would listen to me. But I realized my thoughts were shaping my reality. So I had to change the way I was thinking. Once I aligned my mindset with the belief that God had called me for this work, everything changed. I mean, everything. Opportunities opened up, and I stepped into the role I was meant to fulfill. So once you change your mind, everything begins to shift. I want you to take a moment right now and ask yourself, what are the dominant thoughts in my mind today? Are they thoughts of abundance or scarcity, fear or faith? Your first step is awareness, because you can't change what you're not aware of. That's what my mentor always says. Now let's talk about how personal growth equals business growth. Your business will only grow to the extent that you grow. The biggest mistake I see entrepreneurs make is chasing tactics and strategies without becoming the person who can execute those strategies. You have to become the person who can handle success before you see the results. We see that plenty of times in the Bible. My mentor always says, become the person who can do the thing. This year was all about becoming for me. Let's talk about Oprah Winfrey. Before she became a media mogul, she spent years developing herself. She read, sought mentorship, and cultivated her vision. Her personal growth didn't just happen, it was intentional, and it laid the foundation for her global success. My mentor spent 18 months selling before he made his first sale and took off. What does this remind me of? It's a key lesson I wrote about in my book, The Next Level You. In one chapter, I share how I had to confront my limiting beliefs. I realized that I couldn't hit the next level in my business until I became the version of myself that could handle it. My mind had to change. The journey of personal growth was the turning point. It's why I wrote the book, to actually help those people who need to take a step forward into their next level, so they can look at it and they say, if she did it, so can I. So I'll have it linked down below in the description box for you. Now, this aligns with God's design, where the scripture says, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's actually one of my favorite scriptures. Transformation starts inside. It's not about working harder, it's about thinking better. Boy, did my mind have to actually change and shift this year. Here's a challenge. Set aside 30 minutes every morning for personal growth. Read, pray, journal. Do something that feeds your mind and spirit. Over time, you'll notice how much clarity and creativity you gain, and that will reflect in your business. I've learned that thinking is hard, but it's worth it. The hardest thing you'll ever do is think. I mean it. Seriously, most people avoid it. They fill their day with distractions, social media, emails, endless busy work, because thinking deeply is actually uncomfortable. It stretches you. But let me say something. If you can sit with your thoughts, you will uncover solutions to problems that have been holding you back. That's what happened. It will literally do that for you. Here's a famous example. Let's take Bill Gates, for example. He's famous for his Think Weeks, where he isolates himself with books, journals, and nothing else. Why? He knows the power of focused thinking. I had to do that one time. In one of those weeks, he envisioned the future of personal computing. Isn't that wild? And the rest is history. Can you imagine if you go and lock yourself in a room or at a hotel or at a cabin for a few days and all you have is your notebook and journal and you're talking to God and he just begins to download all these ideas to you? Man, the rest would be history. I remember a season in my business where I felt so overwhelmed. I was trying to do everything, and I mean, nothing seemed to work. I was like, what is happening? One day, I forced myself to sit down, unplug, and think. Within that hour, I actually identified one simple change that increased my income dramatically. That breakthrough didn't come from doing more, it came from thinking better. Because like I said, as a man thinks, so is he. And the hardest thing you'll ever have to do is actually sit down with yourself, with your thoughts, and think. The more your mind starts to change, the better you become, because your mind is transforming. Listen to this. Even Jesus modeled the importance of stepping away to think and pray. In Mark 1, verse 35, it says, very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. My husband and I talk about this all the time. Listen to this. Thinking and praying are disciplines that lead to massive breakthrough. A lot of the reasons why people fail is because they don't actually want to sit and think. They don't want to sit and and discipline themselves to get to where they need to go. This week, I challenge you to block out an hour of undistracted time to think. No phone, no interruptions, just you and a notebook and your thoughts. Write down every idea. Make no assumptions. Every idea, and then write every solution and every insight that comes to mind. You'll be amazed at what God can reveal in that space. I'm telling you, just write. Free flow. Just begin to write. Let the genius come out of you. Creativity is your wealth generator. We have a creator. Our creator is creative. He created the universe. Your creativity is the most valuable asset you have. Every successful entrepreneur you admire, from Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Sarah Blakely, those on Shark Tank, my mentor Myron Golden, they didn't just solve problems, they created solutions no one else could imagine. And you could do the same. For example, I want you to think about Sarah Blakely. I really love her story. She is the founder of Spanx. She took a simple idea. I'm talking simple. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. We need to get in a dress, make sure we're all fitted, right, and shaped up. She took this simple idea, creating slimming undergarments so we can be all tucked in, and turned it into a $1 billion empire. That idea came from her creativity, and she solved a problem millions of women faced. Can you imagine if you're like, I have a solution to a problem that many women face right now? You can be sitting on $1 billion idea and you don't even know, because you need to step out. When I first started my entrepreneur journey, I realized my creativity was the key. Instead of chasing what everyone else was doing, I leaned into what made me unique in the marketplace. Ask yourself, what makes me unique? Listen, I found what was needed, and that's when I began to stand out. Creativity isn't just a gift, it's a tool for success. Find out what's needed in the marketplace, because if it's needed in the marketplace, then they will send for you, but only if you're available, right? So you got to get out there. I want you to think about the parable of the talents. The servants who invested and multiplied their resources were rewarded. Let me say that again. The servants who invested and multiplied their resources were rewarded. The one who buried his talent in fear lost everything. God has given you creativity, not to bury it, but to multiply it. Did you hear that? Not to bury it, but to multiply it. Ask yourself, am I multiplying it? Or say, I can and I will multiply in this season. I want you to do something for me. Spend time brainstorming about 3 to 5 ways you can solve a problem for your audience. It could be creating a product, offering a service, or teaching what you know. It's something I love to do. But remember, creativity plus action equals income. Why? Because faith without action, without works, is actually dead. So let's recap what we've covered. First, your thoughts shape your reality. What are you thinking? What's in your mind? What's going on? Are you thinking abundance or are you thinking lack? Guard your mind and focus on abundance. Focusing on lack will only get you lack. In abundance, there's momentum. Second, personal growth fuels business growth. Become the person who can handle success. Third, thinking is hard, but it's the key to unlocking solutions. And finally, your creativity is a God-given tool for wealth creation. So don't forsake it. Spend some time alone. Like I told you previously in this video with Bill Gates, he spent time alone. Spend time in your think tank. Let your genius arise. As you leave this video, I want you to remember, you already have everything you need to succeed. It's all within you, waiting to be activated. Sometimes it's activated by a coach, a mentor, or even reading a book. So start today. Think bigger. Grow personally. Tap into your creativity and watch how your life and your business transforms. One of the biggest things that happened to me this year was taking time to step away from all other activities and become the person who can do the thing. I want you to say to yourself, I will become the person who can do the thing. I will become the coach who can coach. I will become the entrepreneur who can make 7 million, 8 million. Prophesy. If this message resonates with you, I will go deeper into these principles in my book. I actually do go deeper. It's called The Next Level You. It's a guide to stepping into the best version of who God called you to be as an entrepreneur, overcoming limiting beliefs and unlocking your God-given potential. You can grab a copy on Amazon. And if you're like, how do I go find it? I'm going to have it actually linked down below. But if this video inspired you, I want you to do something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this message. And in the comments, are you ready for this one? Tell me one thing you're going to do this week. One thing, just put it in the comments, you're going to do this week to use your mind to change your life. I can't wait to hear your stories. I'm telling y'all, the greatest thing you can ever do is use your mind. God has given us a tool, a weapon. And some people are using it for good. Some people are using it for evil. Choose this day to use it for good so you can make an impact. Get alone in your quiet place and make a difference. Stay blessed and see you next time.